Hey everyone, this is Bowman with my third casting. Here we have Byun in the bottom right as Terran, and in the top left we have Dark. Byun is opening with standard Rax gas, while Dark up here is going for pool first. Not taking any gases yet. Looks like he's going to expand first. We'll see if he takes a delayed gas and what he's going to do with his early pool. Byun isn't building a second rack, so it looks like he's going to go for his natural before adding anything onto it. We do see Dark taking his gas and building the drones that will go towards that. Behind this we'll see if Byun wants to make a second barracks. There it is. Most likely a reactor here on the barracks, a second supply depot, and we'll see what the timing is on the second gas. There it is. So Dark's first 100 gas is coming up. Not getting speed quite yet. This makes me think, okay, he just missed the speed timing a little bit. See the tech lab on the second racks and the factory going up, so it looks like we'll just have the 16 Marine drop follow up. Still mining on the gas, is now past 100 gas, and we'll see if he wants to get Overlord speed or a lair. A little bit surprised that there's not an evolution chamber so that he can get an upgrade going, maybe do some drops. There is the evolution chamber. Would have seen that. I'd like to see that come down a little bit sooner. Would also be nice to have a third queen here at the base as it pops up to either get some creep going or an inject. Byun got a little supply block there for a second, and already he's coming up close on it, but he's got supply depot finishing up. And Dark chose to go for the Carapace. Skipped any attack, and I feel like typically the standard for most players is to always go for attack and delay Carapace. Now, even most of the time, if you get two Evos, a lot of times I see people getting melee and missile attacks before Carapace. So Dark is still on one gas. He's up to 200. We'll probably see him start a lair and take another gas or two. Byun with one eBay, starting his +1 attack, and behind it, starting up the second one and a third gas. I feel like this creep spread could have gotten out a little bit quicker, especially if he was going to make these queens. He could have had continuous injects and some creep out a little sooner. He's going to be able to hold these medevacs off, but they are a nice threat just to keep around the base, make sure no creep is getting too far out, doesn't let the Zerg move out, and he could potentially run around and drop somewhere. The third command center is starting for Byun. He's not making anything out of the starport right now, and he's a little bit gas starved. He should consider getting this last gas. It's an easy 75 minerals to slip in, but he did put that towards the barracks instead. He's going to need to get his armory down so he can start the next upgrade, because it is nearing that time when they will complete at the same time if you restart that armory. Now that there is another drop, having some of these banelings are really going to help him deal with it, but he gets a great surround, already picks off one medevac, maybe even a second one. Byun should be able to get out with these Marines as long as he doesn't make a big mistake. Just finishing up his second and third gas here, hasn't put drones in him yet, and there is a fourth. He's starting to slip on his injects a little bit, building up some energy there. Still not taking this last gas. He's got the SCVs and the money to do it. Fourth and fifth barracks going up, Dark working on the creep spread. Still not getting into all of the gases quite yet. He got pretty distracted, I guess, by all of the drops. The armory is starting here for Byun. Macro hatch. A second evolution chamber. I really like that. Anytime for any race when you only start with one place where you can get your upgrades, I really like following it up with the second one a little bit later. Going for the reactor on the factory into mines. Skip tanks completely this game. He already has combat shields finished. So he's playing against what he's seen so far is just Ling Bling. So I'm curious to see if he'll drop down a second tech lab or if he's going to go for reactors on both of these. He is most likely assuming mutas should be coming, but we don't even see a spire on the way. Byun is starting to be a little bit in the dark, and maybe you should consider scanning to see what the army is like and what the drone count is. Maybe see the spire or an infestation pit, or maybe he started building some roaches and ravagers behind all that, and he wouldn't have noticed. He could have been dropping this time too, but having these units at home did help him safely take the third. Nice of him to block this off, and he will be putting up the depot wall here. Looks like he had a selection on the eBays to start his 2-2, but he didn't have the money, so he's going to revisit it, and here he's getting it started. It is going to be 2 reactors here from Byun. Sorry about the dog. A nice pickup on the 4th base. And now Dark is up to all 6 gases, and the Spire is only just now getting started. He is starting to bank up some of the gas, nearing 500. I would like to see Byun move, 3 or 4 of these SCVs over here and get these gases going. You see he's short on gas. 3-3 is going to take up 500 gas. Gets away with most of those units. Seeing here, it's just hard to keep Starport in constant production when you're on low gas and to keep all those upgrades going. Although he is mostly making Marines from these barracks. The Widow mines do take a bit of gas too. But I still feel like it's easy to go ahead and take your 3rd gases quickly and to move some of these SCVs. And we will see this is going to start mining out soon. This one has 190, this one 260, 115, 45. The creep spread from Dark is starting to really get out of control here. And you really can't help that. You'd have to have drops all over the place or run around and scan. But I would like to see him drop around here and clean some of that up. A great Liberator run by here. Overlord speed just finishing. Still threatening over here, making it hard for Dark to comfortably take this 4th base, which is one of the most important things he could be doing. And we see here he is starting to stockpile on the SCVs here. No inject on this hatchery or this hatchery. Well, okay, I just now saw this queen. Again, here with Dark, I'd really like to see some of these drones already be coming over here to begin mining, get on the gases, maybe a spine crawler or spore. Missing a drone here. Hasn't got an upgrade going on the Spire. At this point, I think he really needs to get his tech to a different level. And you see the 2nd carapace is finishing. I think the hive should be getting started. He kind of keeps it to a small mutaflock, maybe even some corruptors just to deal with drops and liberators while building up his tech behind it. Byun is 10 supply up at this point. Something you never want to see the Terran player in position-wise in the game. Still not taking these gases. Has he started his 3-3 yet? Nope. It's just about to come up, and that's going to eliminate all of Byun's gas. His starport did just finish 2 medevac, so I wonder if he's going to start getting into Liberator soon, because he hasn't lost many medevacs recently, so the amount is getting up to a nice number. Great Baneling hits on the mines. If you can eliminate a few mines for a little trade like that, it is totally worth it. It makes it so much easier for you to engage, and takes a lot of the risk out of engaging onto the Terran and just losing huge clumps of your very fragile army. Still, we don't see any infestation pit. No gases at the 4th yet, but at this point it would be very hard to invest in building the drones to cover those gases. But it did seem for a long time that he had enough to hold Byun off, but Byun is just now really starting to have the a much more threatening army than before. Still needs to get these concussive shells now that he's adding in lots of marauders. I'm sure he's expecting ultras to come out too, because he hasn't really seen mutas, but he is starting to see some small amounts of mutas now. But at this point, he's already getting the Marauders up in case there were to be some Ultralisks. I like this play with the mutas coming around, pick off any reinforcements, maybe get some harassment done, but at this point that should be a good cue for Byun to start poking in here a little bit heavier until the mutas are coming back, and at this point Byun should know that's happening and he needs to be careful with his army here. He's got that 3-3 on the way. It's almost halfway completed, and here's the big engagement. Without those mines there, he was able to run in the front much easier. So they're both on 2-2 now. Still no hive tech, so Dark's not going to be able to get that 3-3 going. He's got the 5th base on the way. But Byun is halfway to 3-3, and that's going to make this a lot more difficult for Dark. I would also like to see an upgrade from the armory coming out. Still not taking these third gases. Maybe just feels like that's how he should play against Zerg a lot of the times, is to focus more on the minerals and just get a bunch of units out. He is starting to get up into the 750 gas, and he already has a 3-3 on the way. He doesn't have a second starport, and he doesn't have a second factory. So at this point, it's mostly making Medevac Marine Marauder. Doesn't have to worry about upgrades unless he were to use the armory. So for this point, he will have enough gas for everything. Dealing with all this harassment nicely. Has a lot at home though, so that lets Dark know he can go ahead and clear up that army there. Really gives him some breathing room. He's probably going to go ahead and take his 7th and 8th gas. Byun seeing this base having just finished. Lots of drones stacking up here. Would be great to see them come to either of these bases. He doesn't have any vision out here. He hasn't spread his creep for a long time. No overlords, no lings, and this drop could potentially pick off this hatchery while everything else is going on around here. No turrets at the 4th. It's going to cause a lot of problems for Byun. A huge clump of drones here in the main. Oh man, that hurts me. Should have a little bit of creep spread in the main. Can go ahead and dump some of this energy more into the hatchery so he doesn't slip on his macro. It looks like he is going to be able to get this hatch. He's got Jimmy's 3-3 Marines. But he's going to pick up so he can focus elsewhere and not lose those Marines. He's got this one. He added on more barracks here. He's probably up to 8 barracks at this point. Lots of Marine or SCVs here still. Building, structure, armor could be a great addition at this point. There they go. There's those extra drones. Still some extra here. No infestation pit. Is this Dark? No creep spread. You know, I know it's a lot harder when you're actually playing the game. And this hatchery down so low, he's really got to babysit it, and Byun is coming for it. Getting a couple mines down nice places, but Byun did get, Dark did kill a couple of those widow mines like before, which really helped. Really nice swoop in here by the mutas, trading a base for a base, which I think will probably be worse for the Zerg, because at this point Byun can lift this one off. He could lift this one off if he wanted to, and he's just got so much money still left at his 3rd. Dark is mining his out a little bit sooner because Zerg starts to mine their 3rd base before the other races, although Byun could have potentially mined it out very quickly with the mules. It's always nice when you still have some mines randomly placed along the map, so it gives you some vision and lets you hit clumps of lings that run by. Well, at this point, Dark is up 25 supply. And at this point, it is just a basic army numbers game. But Byun has the 3-3 and Dark is here with the 2-2. This base is just now getting back up. He could go ahead and start this one. He's got the money and the drones in place. But once he gets this economy going, you know, his numbers are just going to be a lot better because he was just about to mine out. I wonder if he's sending in these mutas one by one to try and drag some widow mines. And that could be really good if you're transfusing your Muta and it really makes sure a mine or two goes off. Wow, great counter attack here by Dark. Dark still with that 20 supply lead, but looks like Byun's going to be able to take this base. If Dark would have started this sooner, he would have been able to move all of these drones and instantly begin to mine. Looks like not enough mutas here to deal with a small number of Marines. Byun needs to know about this base. I think if he wants to stay in this game, well, I shouldn't say that because the supply is not so bad and Byun has the better upgrades. And it's good that he got this fourth base up. It is the main that he floated over. But right now, he should be putting on the pressure here. Although, if he got caught out of position on the way over, he could take a very unfavorable fight, along with leaving this base open could really be a hazard for him. Nice pack of units back here. Once he gets these over, he should be able to do something. He doesn't want to engage too heavily. He wants to get in position, wait for these reinforcements to arrive. He's keeping a lot in position to deal with harass, which is going to make this push not as strong. Lots of queen energy here. Going to have a lot of transfuses. Going to make it hard to actually get any damage other than energy done. Burrow just now finishing. Really like to see some burrow mines on the field. Still no second factory, second starport, or anything from Byun. No tech from Dark either. And well, at this point, now that Dark has lost that base again, he just does not have the economy for anything. They both have just been floating so much gas now, you see. Even though Byun never took these gases. But that's just because they're playing these styles of mid-tier till the death. I think some Liberators would really be great this game. I mean, even if Ultras came out, it would help with them a lot, but Dark does have a lot of Queens, which would be his answers for Liberators, but against all of these light units, it'd be great. He's been sieging up on, in these places so much. Having some Liberators in there really helps. Great splits. Only lost a few Marines for a good trade. Great reinforcement positioning here for Byun. That's just enough to take care of all this. But then Dark sees that and he starts moving everything here, catching Byun in a bad position. A great move by Dark. But Byun is starting to match up in supply. And there we have it. Dark calls GG. Well played by Byun. It's interesting to see that they did not tech up. And a lot of times that can be what kills you, and maybe they thought it was a little more tooth and nail, and it was, but I really think they could have snuck a lot more in there. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this cast and it was helpful for some of you. I hope to see you guys come back to check out some of the videos I put up next. Bye.